Hello, Erica here. I'm not even going to pretend like I'm not filming this on the same day wearing this same silly, whatever the hell color this is, sweatshirt. It's too cold to take the sweater off. I'm not changing clothes for this video. Alright, I'm doing a review today on The Boy Who Lost Fairyland by Catherynne and Valente. This is the fourth book in the Fairyland series. It was just published on March the 3rd, at least in the US. And it was wonderful. So I read all of the books in the Fairyland series, and I'm going to try not to give away too much about plot. So if you haven't read this series, you are good for this video. No worries. And for those of you who don't know, which I'm sure you do because it's been around on BookTube quite a bit, the Fairyland series is based on a girl named September who was whisked away from her home in Nebraska during the early 1900s on a magical adventure into Fairyland. And in each book, she kind of returns to Fairyland and has new adventures and things of that nature. I loved the first book. Really, really, really liked the second book. Third book was a little slow and weird for me, as I find most people have found as well. And so I was a little worried that maybe, you know, Catherynne, Valente had just dragged it on for too long and that it was just going to, like, spiral downhill as the series continues. This, the fourth book, took me all the way back to how I felt when I read the first book. And I just thought that the first book was so magical, so well written, so complex, and so engrossing. So, that says a lot about this book. Now, things that you need to know. Don't start with this book if you haven't started the series yet. Please start at the beginning. But if you have already read the first three books, or the first book, or the first two books, this book does not follow September, the main character. It does not follow A through L. It does not follow Saturday, which I was really upset about because I've grown to really love those characters. This book follows Hawthorne and Tamburlaine. They are changelings, so they were both whisked away from Fairyland to the United States, to Chicago. And they were swapped with human children who went to Fairyland. So this is a whole new take where you get to see our world from the eyes of characters from Fairyland rather than seeing Fairyland through human eyes, which I really liked. It's started off a bit slow for me. It definitely picked up, though, and by the end, my heart was aching. It was so beautiful. Just so you know, and this isn't really a spoiler because you find it out pretty early, and it is in the blurb too. September and all of our regular cast of characters do eventually find their way into the story. But I really, after a little while, wasn't so sad that they weren't there. Like, I was eagerly anticipating them popping up again, but I really grew to love the new characters in this book. There is a female wombat made out of yarn who's really feisty and spits whiskey bottles. And Hawthorne and Tamburlaine were both, I thought, really spunky, well-developed characters. So you might miss September and A through L and Saturday a little bit, but never fear because Valente has also created beautiful characters here. No, really need to say this, but Valente's writing is stunning in this book, as it has been in others. She does break the third wall? Fourth wall? Oh, jeez. Anyway, she does speak directly to the reader, which usually irritates me, but I really like it in these books. And so here's an example of her writing if you're new to Valente at all. Do you remember being born? Only a few can say they do and not be caught immediately in the lie, and most of them are wizards. I, of course, remember it perfectly. Certain benefits are granted to narrators as part of the hiring package to compensate for our irregular hours and unsafe working conditions. So there are little sentiments like that, little quirky turns of phrase that I think are really beautiful in this book. I ended up giving this book 5 stars. I think I gave the first book 5 stars, the second book 4 stars, and the third book 4 stars. So the fact that this doesn't follow the same cast of characters but still got 5 stars out of me is incredible. I will say that I thought the ending was a little bit rushed, but it is part of a series, and it's a middle grade series too, which I feel like kind of are at more liberty to end on cliffhangers and things of that nature. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like middle grades in YA series, more so than adult series, don't necessarily have to be wrapped up so nicely, especially when the books are this short. Though we do have to wait a whole year for the next one, which is very disappointing. So I'm just rambling. I'm not really saying much in this video, except please go read this. I hope you're not disappointed, especially if you love the Fairyland series like I do. It's totally worth continuing on with. Do not be put off by the fact that the characters are different. And yeah, I highly recommend the series in general if you're looking to be whisked away to a magical universe, but also experience some really, really brilliant and creative and imaginative writing. So let me know if you have any questions, or if you've read the book, or if you've read the series and want to read the book, or whatever. I will see you all soon. Bye.